Hello everybody, this is SeetherCord here, and welcome to my next top 10 video for this channel. Today we've got ourselves our first top 10 video in months, and I believe that I have found the perfect way to bring it back. And that is through my love of video games. Video games have always been a major part of my life, and game collecting has also been a huge part of it as well. And now I found an awesome way to implement my love of video games with furries. I wanted to start this new mini-series within my top 10 series on my channel, where I'll be covering the best of the best furry-centered video game content for each major gaming console. I wanted to start off this new mini-series within my top 10 series on my channel, where I'll be covering the best of the best furry-centered video games for each major gaming console. I want to cover the Xbox lineup from Microsoft, the PlayStation lineup from Sony, the Nintendo lineup, and heck, why not even the Sega lineup? So we'll first start off this series with the first home console ever released from Nintendo, which is the Nintendo Entertainment System, or as many others refer to it as, the NES, and in Japan was referred to as the Family Computer, or also nicknamed the Famicom. This system was best known for kicking people back in gear into video games during the 1980s, and with the creation of the Super Mario franchise or the Legend of Zelda franchise, it helped really open the world up for competition in the video game market, and really made Mario especially a cultural icon. Another noteworthy thing about the NES is that these games were very hard. You couldn't put that much into a cartridge back then, to where they made sure the games were difficult to increase the replay value. Anyways, with that explanation now out of the way, let's begin with the top 5 furry NES games. For number 5, we have a game called Battletoads. Battletoads is a beat-em-up platform game developed by Rare. In the game, 3 space humanoid toad warriors form a group known as the Battletoads. 2 of the Battletoads, Rash and Zitz, embark on a mission to defeat the evil Dark Queen on her planet and rescue their kidnapped friends, Pimple, the third member of the Battletoads, and Princess Angelica. This game is known along with many other NES games for its extreme difficulty. Even with its extreme difficulty, however, this game has gotten tons of praise for many different gameplay styles it provides to give out a lot of fun. It's also been very well received for its music also. I definitely recommend this game for people who want a fun challenge. For number 4 on this list, we have ourselves Tiny Toon Adventures. This game was based off of the successful 90s cartoon of the same name. The show is about a bunch of young inspiring cartoon characters attending a university to become the new Looney Tunes characters. This show most notably having executive producer of Steven Spielberg. This game was developed by Konami and is essentially a platformer. The plot of this game is that the player initially controls Buster Bunny in the effort to rescue Babs Bunny from her kidnapper Montana Max. The gameplay for this one is very similar to Super Mario Bros. 3, one of the most notable and best NES games ever made. However, even if it is very similar to that masterpiece of a game, it still does its job very well by being both very fun and also pays a lot of respect to the original source material. For number 3 on this list, we have another game developed by Konami, and that is Bucky Ohare. Bucky Ohare is an action platformer game based off of the comic strip of the same name, published by Continuity Comics. This game is very similar to the Mega Man game series in terms of level structure, where you play a different set of levels to unlock a new character and to then use in other levels. As the case with the Tiny Toon Adventures game, just because it's similar does not mean that it isn't fun, and this is definitely the case here also. This game is a lot of fun and definitely takes advantage of each character's unique gameplay styles to provide a ton of fun for the player. This game is also not that well known and very underrated in my opinion. Also, another thing to note about this game is that it's really expensive and the market value for the original copy of this game goes for at least $100. So I'd recommend emulating this game on your computer through modding your video game console, using the homebrew channel for the Nintendo Wii as an example. Okay, now we're going to be getting into the famous games now. These top 2 are both in the group of the most well-known games for the NES. And the first one we have here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is an action platformer game and yet another game developed by Konami. Seriously, these guys were killing it back in the day. The plot of this game revolves around the Ninja Turtles, Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello, going on a mission to retrieve the Life Transformer gun from Shredder, a device that could restore the Sensei Splinter back to his human form. Now, to quote the epic rap battles of history here, let me describe the difficulty of this game through the Artist vs. TMNT episode. That is right, people. This game is notorious for being difficult. The reason for this is due to it being very flawed through bad enemy placement and character capabilities. However, this game provides many different forms of gameplay such as swimming, top-down perspectives, and side-scrollers to still make this game a fun experience. If you want to play a game that will provide an extreme challenge, but also want tons of fun different gameplay styles, then this game is right up your alley. And now the number 1 best furry NES game title has to go to Ducktales. This game was developed by Capcom and is an action platformer. It is based off of the Disney cartoon of the same name. This game is considered one of the best games for the NES, and also considered one of the best licensed games of all time. Since many licensed games are seen as lazy cash grabs with no sense of the developers actually wanting to make a good game, this here is one of the exceptions, because the creators of this game actually put in a lot of effort to make this an actually enjoyable game that was true to its original source material. This game has been praised for an awesome and fun non-linear level design and also having a kick-ass soundtrack. Also, the song in the game entitled The Moon is considered one of the most notable video game tracks of all time. This is definitely a game I would recommend for you to play if you want to play the NES at all. And that has pretty much been the top 10 best furry NES games. How do you guys feel about me covering all the furry-centered games on video game consoles? Do you guys like this idea? Do you guys not like this idea? How do you guys feel about all the games that I've mentioned today? Do you like any of them? Do you not like any of them? Are you going to play any of these games? Are you not going to play any of these games? Let me know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoy my content and want to further help out my channel, please consider donating to my Patreon page and my Ko-fi, hitting that like button, turning on that notification bell, and subscribing all together. I've been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone. Can I win? I hope I can win. Okay, come on. Win. Win, 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 win. Did I win? I don't know if I won or not. Oh my god, did I win? I won! Yes! Sorry that was too loud, but oh my god. Oh, I've never had it that close before, oh my god.